We've all been the ages of 17 to 20, and we've all not had sex before. And there comes a time in every young man's life where he transitions from adolescence to manhood, adulthood, if you will. And he has to pick essentially a path to take, a role to be, like an archetype. You could be the sports guy. You can go into rooms asking people about games and if they've seen them. Maybe you could say it was a heck of a one. That's a good one. You could be an anime guy. You could be, interested in other Japanese things as well. You could be like a fitness kind of guy, interested in like men's bodies, but like in a cooler way than how I just said that. Or you could be like an extremely online kind of like self-hating, like ironic guy, right? And if you are, it's okay. I was there too. I still am, right? But that's the topic of today that I want to touch on, I mean, the kind of guy that's like, you go to a party and you're somehow the coolest person in the room, like at all times. You're more interesting. You're funnier. The people that are like getting people to actually laugh with them, they're all kind of like not funny. And the people that are laughing aren't actually laugh. They're like, it's all fake. And they're also bad people. They're also lame. But you're not. But you're not lame or a bad person, and you're cool. And and you're smarter than them. And like the conversations that like other people are having without you, it's like they're not even interested in those conversations. Really, like they don't even want to be having them. And you're kind of that meme where you're in the corner. And it's like, do they even know if I'm XYZ? You're that guy. You're kind of, you think you're better than everyone and cooler and smarter and funnier. And you kind of distance yourself from these people around you while also simultaneously being very desperate for their friendship. You know what I mean? So comment below if that's relatable. So this is the mindset that I want to be talking about. And I think pretty obviously it's very nice and a good way to live your life. Jokes are funny. Jokes are cool. Jokes can make you friends at school. So guys, I actually wrote that one. And I went to college at Alabama. And, it was a lot of like frat bro shit, a lot of like partying, football, state school shit. I didn't really feel like I fit in there. And I do still think those things are like lame, right? Admittedly. But especially then I had this like chip on my shoulder that I thought I was better than like everyone around me. I thought I was like smarter, more interesting. The things I liked are like cool. Things that they liked were not cool. For largely just the fact that they were like popular. So I would like dismiss them. But as a result of this, I was also simultaneously pretty desperate to have like friends and like a place to like feel like I fit in. So entering the internet and the vast like interconnected web of like different personalities and niches and communities essentially. And I found Cumtown and Sam Hyde and Hassan and XQC and Sneeko. And on the surface, all these groups are kind of like separate. They're all different from each other. But if you pull the scope back a little bit, you see that they're all serving the same like function essentially. Even with separate fan bases and like this group doesn't like this group and like Sam Hyde's a neo-Nazi and Hassan's a soy boy. It's all people desperate for a community and a sense of belonging. And, people either like intentionally or not intentionally stepping in to fill that like need, right? They recognize that and they step in and fill that need. So it could be like kind of predatory or it could not be predatory. But that is the like relationship. That's the function of those like circles, right? Audience desperate for like a sense of community and the creator on top that's like, serving that need essentially. But you enter in this whole ecosystem of like online identity. And as a young person who's struggling to like find an identity, you kind of take on these personalities and beliefs as your own. And then over time, you become more engaged and more integrated within this online world. And compared to like the people around you in real life, like the real physical people around you, these online things like actually like get you. They reflect your sense of humor back at you. They reflect your hobbies and interests, whether that be playing League of Legends or, pretending to be interested in politics or making fun of like women's TikToks, you know? There's a whole gamut of representation within these online like structures. So a lot of these interests are a little too raw or edgy to be conversed with your normie friends outside of the internet. So it becomes easier over time to like see these people you follow or are subscribed to as your real friends, right? And we all know about like parasocial relationships, but it's worth mentioning because it's true. Another key element of these communities and online relationships is that they kind of take away your ability to like enjoy things. You become desensitized to like experience and essentially have to have someone like mediate having an experience for you. For example, let's take Will Smith and his wife's mouth at the Oscars. It's like everyone in the world had a hot take on that, right? And it's like, why? Like, why? Who gives it like a single fuck about that? And that's kind of the thing. Like, there has to be like an opinion that you have to either support or disagree with about everything. And whether you support or disagree with something kind of comes from what you're consuming. And when you're consuming like content 8 hours a day as a full-time job where people are making money off kind of telling you opinions, you will very easily be swayed, you know what I mean, to kind of fall into like a belief system that isn't really yours. Every element of culture, every phenomenon, every grain of everything is like taken and put into this regulator of hot takes and, well, I support this, well, I would never support this, well, I believe this. And everything real and like true and authentic is just destroyed into smithereens of like artificially generated like opinion morsels. Like, you may not even outright recognize that you're engaging with this stuff, but like I would challenge you to like take any belief or anything that you value and like ask yourself where it comes from. Like, who brought this to you? Where was it from? Because chances are it wasn't independently like generated within you. You absorbed it from somewhere. Like, I remember having like Discord arguments with my friends about like the political like hot topic of the week, and like in the middle of it, I'm like, dude, I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't even think they do. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone like really cares that much about this stuff. Like, in the middle of it, I was like, dude, I don't care. But then I couldn't admit I was wrong. I mean, I had to keep going. But that's like an irregular occurrence. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of trying to distance myself from that whole thing. That's kind of what the video is about here. Like, I have no way to know if what I'm saying is true or if any of it is validatable or able to be validated, whatever the fucking word is. And like, I don't know if any of it's true. And I'm just kind of recycling all this shit. Now, I want to provide a counterpoint to everything I've said thus far. I'm not saying that content creators are evil or like, you know, you don't think for yourself or like you don't form any opinions by yourself. I'm not trying to like overgeneralize everything. What I am saying is that I think it's important to keep watch over like what you're consuming and why, and where your beliefs come from and why they're there. Because as a human, you know, just naturally as a human, you're like taught things from a young age and taught to be taught things. Right? And that's like a good thing. That's not bad. Like, that's a good skill to have. But this enables you to learn, to grow, to like progress beyond your limits, to think about new perceptions and bring in like new things into your worldview, which is a good thing. But where it gets bad is like, it's also quite easy to like go the opposite direction in that and kind of take on like these whole belief systems that like aren't really like good for you or serving you and like the things that you want for yourself. So you have to like check in with yourself and like make sure the beliefs and values you're kind of like subscribing to ultimately serve you and are reflective of the life you want to live and the person you want to be. Now, as we interact with the world with this character class, this archetype, we're fans of this person but not this person. This guy's like an idiot, but this guy's like smart actually when you get past like all the bullshit rhetoric. And we're doing all this shit essentially just to like fill a void within ourselves, right? Like, when you really look at it, that's kind of the case. Chances are you're like unsatisfied to some degree with your life, like either your relationship, your job, like your friends or family don't support you in the way you want them to. And after the initial like niceness of feeling like heard and seen in like this community that you found, after that wears off, and after you've binged like the entire like channel or like all the videos or podcasts of like whoever it is at the moment that you're like projecting kind of all these desires and like feelings and shit onto, and hoping that like they're gonna solve them. After that like is exacerbated and you've fucking watched it all, you return back to like baseline, right? So familiar feelings of like numbness and angst and like detachment come back in, and like you're feeling lonely again, and essentially the pattern repeats where like you can either find a new guy or a new podcast to like live vicariously through in this like weird like parasocial relationship, or you run on the same hamster wheel for a while and like keep watching the same content because like this is it's cool. Like I know everything that's gonna happen. I know what each video is gonna be like now. I know all the fucking comedic timing, all this shit, and it's not even like fun anymore, but this is what I like this is my thing. And it just turns into like a routine. Now this doesn't make you feel fulfilled, because it can't. Watching YouTubers, streamers, podcasts, reading books, self-help gurus, whatever the fuck you're doing, it's not going to live your life for you. It's like trying to live on like vitamins. Like these are vitamins, like these are supplemental on top of, you know what I mean? So remember what I said about like YouTubers not being like evil or whatever? Like that's true. They're not. It's not their fault. It's not that you haven't found like the right YouTube video to watch that will like make your life feel like you have a purpose, or the right pill to take to make you like feel good. It's not that. The problem is you've taken this deep feeling of like yearning or meaning and like balled it up and attempted to like externalize it or fulfill it outside of yourself with like essentially like a vitamin. And it's like, dude, that's not gonna work. Like that's not it. Like that can help you, but like that's not how you find fulfillment. The thing is to like stop looking for an authority to give you direction. Stop looking for someone else to externally validate you. Like you're trying to YouTube your way to like personal fulfillment. And once you put it like that, it becomes like obvious that this is like a comically like futile gesture, right? Like that's just not a realistic like expectation for anyone. Like that's just not going to happen. Now you won't figure this out all in a day. I haven't. I mean, like what do I know? You know, but like kind of the big secret here is that like no one has. You know, people will act like they do. People will perpetuate this idea that they do, and will even sell you ways for you to feel like it too. They'll be like, oh, do this and this, and you'll feel like you have a purpose. Believe this thing, and you'll feel like you're whole and complete. My brother, you already are whole and complete. You know what I mean? You're already there. Like, stop externalizing your happiness. Stop like pushing it out of you. Like, do shit that makes you feel valued in like real life shit. Live in real life. Playing games is fun. Playing League of Legends is very fun. But you know what's infinitely more fun? Like going to dinner with like two of your friends. Going on a walk with your girlfriend. Okay, I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have friends. Like, okay, then get a fucking dog. I don't know. Get a fish. Just do shit, bro. Like get like. Yeah, I mean, literally, get a fish, plant a plant. Just go on a walk. Go get a skateboard. Learn how to skateboard. Just do shit, dude. Stop, like, retreating into, like, a shell of, like, depression popsicle and, like, just do something that requires action from you and, like, engagement with the real world and things around you. And from there, you will start to build your own community just, like, automatically. Just by doing shit, you will create things outside of yourself that will even make you feel more fulfilled. Your life won't magically change, but that's life. Like your like life is not sitting on League of Legends for fucking like 8 hours, coming up with like while you're fucking playing is like Shaco just walking around the jungle, like coming up with like plans to make money, like 5 years into the future, like how to become a millionaire. And then like, I can start a podcast. I can do this. I'll do it that times a week. And then this many times a week. And I'll get that many subscribers within the 6-month period. And it's like, dude, none of that shit's real. Like I've done all that. Like I've thought every thought in the world. Like none of it's real. You know what I mean? Like none of that shit, it doesn't help you at all. It's all just like thinking yourself so that you don't have to do anything. Dude, I went to Muay Thai today for my 4th session. And it's fun. It's good for you. It makes you feel like you're a part of something. You're learning, you're watching yourself get better at like physically going and doing it, like learning the techniques, combinations and shit. Like you're getting better at that, and that's trackable progress. But it's also good for your discipline. It's like, it's a regular schedule. It's something that's hard, and you're kind of like checking off your checklist every day. And I feel really good after. I feel like accomplished. I feel productive afterwards. Like once I get done, even if it's like hard during it and it's like tiring, I'm sore, whatever. But I feel really good after it, and I know I feel good after it. And I went today, and all day today I was like, dude, I need to figure out a way not to go. Like I was talking to myself, like, dude, let's figure out a way not to go to Muay Thai. I was like, I can make this video. I can not go, and I can make this video, and I could like finish writing it. I could edit the whole thing tonight because I have work tomorrow. And I was like, literally the whole day I was trying to tell myself, like, convince myself not to go. And like that's never gonna stop. Like that brain game of like trying to like self-sabotage is not going to stop. But that's okay, because the way you beat it is by engaging with the fucking world. And I went anyway, and I'm glad I went because it was good. It was fun. I learned some shit, and now I feel like I did something today. You know what I mean? And I fucking did this after. Like I was just making shit up, like to not do something that I know I should do. You know what I mean? And I've done that my whole life, and I probably will continue to do that my whole life. But the difference is, I just stopped listening. At a certain point, I'm not gonna be like a productive god, like whatever the fuck, like Abdelaziz or whatever. Like I don't know whatever his name is. Like the guy that posts videos about like productivity. And he's British and he's like used to be a doctor. You're not gonna be that guy automatically. Maybe you will in like a year or two. Whatever. Even that is fine. But like the whole thing is like, dude, incremental steps and progress get you places. Not fucking magic changes. Not like all this shit. Life is lived in between. Progress is made in between the big junctures, right? That's kind of the key here, Like you always try to like think yourself into not doing something, and like the same patterns will be there, whatever the fuck. But the thing is like recognize the patterns and the result of those patterns, and then be like, do I want that? Like, is that something I want? And then make choices around that. You know what I mean? Then try new shit. Create new patterns. That's also an option. It's somewhat difficult. It's not fucking insanely hard, to be honest. It's somewhat difficult. Like most things in life are like somewhat difficult. They just require you getting out of like the routine that you're already in to like do something new. And that's so manageable. Like that's so doable. And that's way better than feeling like shitty and sad that you've lived the same day for the third year in a row. You know what I mean? That's fucking depressing. Dude, you know what makes me happy is like cooking for myself just throughout the week. Like whatever the fuck. I'll cook steak and pasta. And I enjoy that. You know what I don't enjoy? Doing the dishes. Do I have dishes like right there? Do I have like 18 to like 26 dishes just sitting there from like the past week? Yeah. Do I need to do them? I do. Yes, I do. Will I? I will. I mean, I will at some point. You know what I mean? That's not going to stop. Like your life isn't perfect. Also, I just don't want that. This is just about me not wanting to do the dishes. I'll do them, Mom. But will I feel better after I do them? Yes. That's kind of like a lesson. Take what you will. I don't fucking know. And by the way, it's okay to be like the sad emotions, the scary shit, whatever the fuck, like being sad, being depressed. Like, that's okay. That's okay. It's okay to like exist with those emotions. You know what I mean? There's like the shit where it's like, oh, depression isn't real. Like sadness, just don't be sad. It's like, there is some truth to that, but not fucking like clinical depression, obviously. There's fucking like whatever. There's differences. But I mean, like, even if that's all that, you can just turn it off. It's like, dude, it's okay to be sad. You know what I mean? Like, it's a part of it. Yin and yang, brother. But the key point there is like, you can still have that shit and still progress in your life and still like self-actualize, still grow, still try shit. You know what I mean? Don't let one hinder the other. That is what like stagnation is. That's where you just sit in the same spot for months to years to a lifetime. And it could be your whole life. Don't let like negative emotions stop you from progressing. Like both of those things can exist within the same like body. You can do both. Yin and yang, brother. You can like have like be sad and still fucking go to the gym, still go to practice, whatever the fuck you're doing. You can still do it. And it helps. You know what I mean? Don't let like one hinder the other. That's how stagnation occurs. And you could stay in that spot if you let yourself for, months, years, a lifetime. But like, don't do that. Just try shit. Do shit. Stop judging yourself so harshly. Stop, critiquing every morsel of yourself. Stop judging other people so harshly, critiquing other people. You know what I mean? Have empathy for yourself, have empathy for others, and those things go hand in hand. They complement each other. Those guys that you're looking up to, they are not more happy than you. They're not. They're truly not. In this world, it's like easy to like make fun of other people for like trying shit and like enjoying things, and like it's cool. It's like funny to like be mean to people. And I'm guilty of all of this as well. But bro, what's crazy is that it's not cool to be mean to people. It's cool to try shit. It's cool to enjoy things. And you are more happy and are more fun to be around when you're doing those things, when you're trying shit and enjoying things. It's better for everyone, yourself included. The secret to making friends is making friends. The secret to getting better at things is doing the things. The secret to living the life you want to live is living the life you want to live. One day at a time. One day at a time, bro. You got it. Peace out. Namaste. I love you guys so much.